Okay, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutation you Akim out there that has been pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. We're in the year of 2020, the year of prophecy, the seventh month of the year 2020, which the Spirit came on Apostle Tahar to coin this year, the year of prophecy. And since before January 1st, actually in December, the prophecy started coming to pass in December of 2019. Now here we are, 7 months into the year of 2020, the year of prophecy, and all we see is endless wars, a bunch of chariot sightings that the Esau, the so-called white man, called them UFOs. We have a bunch of protests going on throughout the four corners of the earth. We have a lot of police killings. All this being orchestrated by the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah, man. The Most High is orchestrating everything that's coming down the pipe. And the Lord is allowing Esau to grow his horns to truly show that he is indeed the devil that the Bible speaks about. Because Jake has a hard head. When I mean Jake, I'm talking about you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Y'all look at the so-called white man do that plantation Christianity, which goes back to Serapis Christus. And then when you fast forward up into the 1400s, Cesare Borgia, y'all look at the white man like he's God, man, and y'all bow down to him. But he's nothing but the devil that the Bible speaks of. Look at all the atrocities they have committed going back to the time of the Greeks, when the Hellenization of the Israelites was taking place, to the Romans, 70 AD, all the way up until the late 1300s, the early 1400s, when he came up out of his captivity. He has been committing nothing but atrocity after atrocity, afflicting much wickedness upon the sons of Israel, man. He going to have to pay for that. Because throughout the centuries, Esau, the so-called white man, and all them wicked-ass Edomites, as well as Israelites, everybody keep coming back at something called reincarnation, man. Same spirit, different body. So that same spirit keep coming back on the earth, man. So all them Edomites that was committing all them atrocities against Israel, or the sons of Israel, do buck breaking, the devil's punch bowl, Derby's dose, alligator bait, hit the nigger baby. We can go on and on and on. Or the postcards showing how Jake was being lynched with a bunch of Edomites around them smiling, drinking, having a good time, having picnics. Then you have the affliction that happened to the Native Americans, the Trail of Tears. All these atrocities that has been committed against you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, but still you look at Esau like he's God, man. But now that spell is starting to break, because Jake is starting to see Esau for what the hell he is, man, which is the devil. Not only Jake, but everybody throughout the four corners of the earth are starting to see the white man for what he really is, which is the devil, man. And everybody that's come up against him on a small level, man. And there's scriptures to prove reincarnation exists, and there's scriptures to prove that what your forefathers have done in the past, because we are forefathers coming back, you got to pay. The same way our forefathers sinned against the Most High Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah, and was worshiping other deities and going off and serving different gods. Guess what? Esau and his forefathers in their generation, guess what? They coming back too, man. So they're going to pay. You're going to pay, man. I have a few scriptures. Abba Ratazah, you Akim out there will be edified. This will be a great millstone to the point. Isaiah chapter 21 verse Isaiah chapter 14 verse 21 Salakia. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, man. Prepare a slaughter for his children. Whose children? Esau, the so-called white man. And all the rest of the nations that afflict sore pain and enslave the sons of Israel. But this right here is directed towards Esau, man, the so-called white man. But the other nations, they had their hand in afflicting the sons of Israel, pursuant to Psalms the 83rd chapter, because they all have become confederate against the sons of Israel to do away with us, man. But the top of the heap, the top of the mountain, the top of the summit, is Esau. Then you got Ishmael, the so-called Arabs, that these niggas out here like to call Aki. And meanwhile, while you Akiing this dude and smiling on his face, he's popping your woman behind your back. She's going to get credit. Lucy's, infidel, whatever she can get on credit. Well, it's not really credit because she's really giving them some ass for the goods that she's getting behind your back. So you go in the store, and I've seen it. You go in the store, yo, what's up, Aki? He looking at you like, what's up? Meanwhile, him and your woman got some shit going on behind your back. You gonna pay, man. You gonna pay. But back to Esau. All the atrocities that these Edomites have committed, like I mentioned earlier, Derby's dose, the devil's punch bowl. Then you have buck breaking, alligator bait, hit the nigga baby. I've named some of the atrocities that Esau have committed, man. You're going to pay for all the atrocities that you have committed against the sons of Israel. Alligator bait, like I mentioned. You're going to pay, man. Or the lynchings, or the rapings. Turning the young men of Israel into homosexuals. Because that's what Esau is, man. Esau is nothing but a straight mo. And that's why they passing over these legislations to protect these moles, man, and these alphabet freaks. You're going to pay, man. So it reads back in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity, for the wickedness, or the sin upon sin of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Because that's exactly what Esau did when he came out of the mountains, man. The Caucasus Mountains. The Caucasus Mountains over in the land over there in the mountains of Russia, man. When they came out of the mountains, what they do, they filled the face of the cities. The land was cities, man, and they deceived the people. They went around defacing all the idols, all the statues, which is iconoclasm. They set themselves up as if they were the Most High and His Son. And them lies have been perpetuated throughout the four corners of the earth for centuries, man. So now, the Most High is allowing all the lies that Esau have spread throughout the centuries to be revealed, to be exposed. All the wickedness is being exposed. And you have to pay for that, man. Do slavery. So I'm going to read it again from the top. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children. Who are the children? Esau, the so-called white man, all the men that committed all the atrocities in the past, hundreds of years ago, hey, they came back multiple times. But now, we're at the end of this thing. We're at the end of Esau's kingdom. We're at the end of the age of Esau. So now, all these souls, that's why the earth is overpopulated, because all these souls are back for judgment, man. Every last person that's on this earth are here for judgment, even down to a little 2-month-old baby, even down to a little 3-day-old baby. They're here for judgment. That's why they came back in the flesh, man, which is reincarnation. We mean back And carnal mean flesh. They came back in the flesh to be judged, man. Like I say, even a 2-day-old baby, they back for their judgment. And the sword judgment is coming, man. For you Negroes, you Hispanics, you Native Americans, for Esau and all the other nations, man. But who gonna be hit the hardest with all these judgments and these sword punishments? Esau, the so-called white man. Because they committed a lot of iniquities throughout the four corners of the earth. And they still committing these iniquities, man, to this very day. All these atrocities against the sons of Israel, man, to this very day, they committing atrocities, man. It says, for I will raise up against them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon. The modern day Babylon is America, man. Because that word Babylon is Babel, which means confusion, man. There's a whole bunch of confusion going on in this land that's they call America, man. This is a confused land, a confused society where they put the woman above the man with this feminist movement. Then you have this transgender, homosexual agenda that Esau is pushing. Number the big ball of confusion in the land of America, man. And whatever they spread their influence. That's why them Arabs over in the Middle East is fighting tooth and nail to get Esau out of there. Why? Because they don't want Esau up in there disrupting their heritage, their families, and how they've been running things for hundreds of years, going back to the biblical times. We still in modern day biblical times. But Esau is trying to democratize them Arabs, man. If they wanted democracy, think about this. They would drop their arms and bow down to Esau, but they're not doing that. They putting their foot in Esau's ass. For I will rise up against them, Esau, the so-called white man, and his kingdom, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. That word host means armies. And cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. That means Esau, your sons, your nephews, everybody that's able to come back in a regeneration and repopulate this earth with wickedness once again. Because Esau, the so-called white man, once he came into power, pursuant to 1 Maccabees 1 verse 10, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to get that real quick, to prove to you that Esau, once they came into power, wickedness multiplied throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Why? Because the devil was ruling. The devil was ruling, man. It says, matter of fact, I'm going to go, this is 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that they sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Was not Alexander an Edomite? Alexander the Greek, was not he an Edomite? And when they came to bear rule, evils multiplied in the earth. Look what's going on now. Who's running the earth? Who's in control? Who's in the power seat now? The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, Job 9:24. Who's in the power seat? It's not Esau, the so-called white man, running things. It's not wickedness running rampant throughout the four corners of the earth. Are not atrocities are still being committed against the sons of Israel to this very day? And you think the Most High is going to allow you Edomites to get away with that? That's why it says in Isaiah, the chapter I'm reading the 14th verse, the 14th chapter, 21st verse, saying that he's going to prepare slaughter for the iniquity of their fathers. Prepare slaughter. It said prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. And that sword slaughter will come by the way of thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots, man. And I'm reading it. And I will also, this is Isaiah 41 verse, Isaiah 14 verse 23. And I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. That besom of destruction is that nuclear wind. Before the fire hits, it's like a big burst of hot air that's going to come and devour everything in this sight, man. Once some missiles are detonated, man. And that's going to be the end of the empire, the end of the age of Esau. And it's going to start a new age, man. Wherein Esau, the so-called white man, is going to be enslaved. In that new age, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is that which followeth, man. So it's a sore slaughter coming for the sons of Esau, and it's judgment. A sore slaughter is coming for the sons of Esau and the sons of Israel. That's a part of the 2/3 that have joined themselves unto Esau, the so-called white man. It's a sore judgment coming, man. So with that, this has been a great millstone. To the point, it went a little bit over 16 minutes. But, hey, nonetheless, it's still to the point, man. Hope you Akim was edified. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.